And welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Tuesday, November 25th, 23rd, 2021. Welcome back, everyone. It is good to be back. Well, we already got Jason on the screen. Let me put him away for a minute. But guys, bit of a reversal here on the Bitcoin charts in the crypto markets. Is this the reversal? Is this the one that's going to send us to late November glory, or man, this is just a little bounce on an extended walk down for these markets? What will it be? Of course, we've got one of CC's lead analysts here on the case. Let's get this man back on screen. Here we go. Jason is with us, everybody. Shoutouts to Jason. Looking good, my man. I think I dialed in your camera, too, so I got your camera looking pretty sharp. How you doing this afternoon? How goes everything? How's the trades, Jason? Do tell.
Doing well. I left you guys last year Friday with kind of my thoughts on what we'd see over the weekend, and if anyone recalls, I said it'll most likely be sideways or down, and that's exactly what we ended up seeing. Got sold back into here. Things are kind of shaping up a little bit on lower time frames. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but other than that, the trading, we're only in 3 positions from me right now. That would be Bitcoin, which already hit TP1. Stop loss at break even. We got Comp, which is hit TP1 over the weekend, as well as Alice, which is just flying. So that one we have TP3 removed, and we're just letting it go, and we'll keep adjusting that stop at each daily close. But other than that, I think everything's just been, the ship is right on track here.
Beautiful.
And we're set to close out November here, a really positive month, so no
Great.
complaints here.
Yeah, great alpha for the month of November, on track to another great performance for Jason. You should be sure to check out results.crackandcryptocurrency.com. You know we keep historical records of all our trades, guys. We're very diligent in the record keeping here. Proof is in the pudding. Check out our analyst performance month to month. See what kind of advantage systems trading gives you. Finally, yeah, and also congrats for sweeping all 3 take profits on Alice, Jason, and finally, is that XLM guy gonna return? On my audio here, I'm a little loud.
Yeah, from last week, who was all mad that the chart was bullish. It can't go down, and it did exactly what I said it would. That was a shorting opportunity. That big green candle underneath the baseline, of course.
Precisely. Yeah, I wonder if he'll return to eat crow. It's not to say that we're always right, but indeed, that was we certainly butted heads on Friday about that. It's good to know, we were kind of proved right.
Well, maybe it can show him that it's not all just like some people think of TA as this thing that it's perfect, and that's not what it is at all. It's more of how much can you use different things in the market, stats and stuff like that, to find yourself a little edge in there. And just using purely based TA like head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders and fibs, that's not going to get you what you want. And if you're coming into this with a bias, you're likely going to lose anyways, because once you get into a position, you're not going to have the ability to get out of it because you don't know if you're right or wrong, and that's a problem.
It's a huge problem, but indeed, guys, that's the advantage that systems indicator-based trading can provide. Learn more over at premium.crackandcryptocurrency.com. All right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into news. Let's wave goodbye to Jason for now. We are going to get into the news. I got a few topics for you guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's do it. This first piece comes from News BTC. November crypto markets turbulence shakes holders to their core. All right, so this article, I like to lead with headlines on the show, guys. These TA-related articles, we don't really dive into. We got our own TA, but hey, the headlines sure do help put things in context. And on a day like this, let's see here. With an average 6% loss and a 10% correction in the weekly chart for Bitcoin, Cardano, XRP, and many others, crypto market has been trading in choppy waters for the past few days. This uncertainty has brought a change in the sentiment as traders prepare for further downside. Data from market research records a flippening in the fear and greed index indicator has quickly moved from greed to fear as Bitcoin and other major currencies in the top 10 by market cap are hitting critical support levels. Yes, Bitcoin had a particularly bad week, and we'll save further TA for later, but that's just a little recap of, yes, this is where the traders, market participants are right now, feeling out of step maybe with the markets. Where is it going to go? I thought we were promised glory, by end of November. Are we still on track for that? We'll plot a course, guys, in a few minutes when we get into Jason's TA. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get into this next piece. It comes from Finbold, and it's titled IMF warns El Salvador against using Bitcoin, and it cites threats to financial stability. Man, is this like when the mafia comes to your business and they're like, listen, we'd hate, you need protection in this neighborhood. It's a rough neighborhood, We would hate to see something happen to
We
your.
want you to get hurt now.
Yeah, well, exactly. You don't want to get you hurt playing with these bitcoins. Better stick to the traditional financial central banking system. But let's have a look. International Monetary Fund has warned El Salvador against using Bitcoin as legal tender, stating that the move carries risks to the financial system. In a statement, the IMF acknowledged that Bitcoin and crypto at large can facilitate efficient payments, but declaring them as legal tender will potentially erode financial stability. Quote, given Bitcoin's high price volatility, its use as legal tender entails significant risk to consumer protection, financial integrity, and financial stability. It also uses its use also gives rise to fiscal contingent liabilities. Wow, fiscally contingent liabilities, you don't say. Furthermore, the agency called on El Salvador to narrow the scope of the Bitcoin law and strengthen regulation and supervision of the new payment ecosystem. In September, El Salvador became the first country to globally declare and accept the Bitcoin as legal tender, a move that has been met with mixed reactions. The government later rolled out an e-wallet system dubbed Chivo that will allow residents to manage Bitcoin payments. Consequently, the IMF noted that the wallet is a major stride toward achieving financial inclusion. However, the lender insisted that the Chivo wallet needs to guarantee safety for consumers' funds, both fiat and cryptocurrencies. Notably, the IMF recommended stronger regulation and oversight, including anti-money laundering, counter-financing of terrorism, and risk management. Man. IMF warning comes barely a week after El Salvadoran president announced the country is planning to build the world's first, quote, Bitcoin city funded by Bitcoin bonds. Interesting. Additionally, the IMF raised a red flag with the Bitcoin bonds, stating that they should undergo a very careful analysis of implications and potential risks to the country's financial stability. Besides the IMF, the financial sector opinion leaders have warned against the country's move to adopt Bitcoin. Previously reported, professor of applied economics over at Johns Hopkins University warned that El Salvador's decision to legalize Bitcoin would have consequences, terming the move as economic stupidity. Well, apparently not everybody's getting with it. And, in fairness to the IMF, this whole experiment with Bitcoin still remains to be seen with El Salvador. But, I mean, hey, they got this Chivo wallet that's kind of helping, I guess, scale it for the consumers over there. I mean, they've kind of... It seems like they figured a lot of this out so far. We'll see if their little experiment, including this Bitcoin city that El Salvador is planning to build based on issuing Bitcoin bonds, sounds a little questionable. But hey, I wish El Salvador all the best of luck. And as much as the IMF likes to talk trash about, how could you use something like with the volatility of Bitcoin? What do they say here? Given Bitcoin's high volatility, its use as legal tender entails significant risks. Well, I think the people of El Salvador had already incredible volatility. And I think it's like the same thing with many Latin American and other failing nations, states out there. Their money erodes, their money turns to crap. So, it'd be one thing if everybody was riding the U.S. dollar and IMF is like, well, this volatility is going to provide significant risks. Well, tell that to somebody they've already seen insane volatility in their native currency. They've already seen their wealth erode. They've seen international sanctions attack their country and their currencies. This kind of thing, it's one thing to, like I said, it's one thing to say, your dollar lets you down, and the Bitcoin will do the same. But it's a whole other to try to diss Bitcoin like this. With that said, that's enough out of the IMF and El Salvador. We're going to go ahead and get into the next piece. This one comes from ZY Crypto, the Great Recalibration. Dogecoin, SHIB, Cardano, all falling out of major spots in the largest crypto list. Let's see here. Major reshuffle has occurred in the rankings of crypto over the last week. A rejig resulted in Doge and Shiba dropping out of the top 10. AVAX is the latest entrant into the fold following a terrific run in recent weeks. Yeah, guys, so this article, this kind of covers TA again. I don't want to get too far into it. But indeed, let's go take a little look over at CoinMarketCap and gander over at the top tokens by market cap. And indeed, here's the top 10, and we've commonly seen the likes of Cardano and others jockey for position in the top 10. Here's Doge, I guess, jockeying for position for number 10 spot with Avalanche. So currently,
Weird. A meme coin dropped out of the top 10. Sounds like things are getting better.
in some sense, yes. It's actually gratifying to see that. Yeah, Avalanche had a big come up, guys. So what I've noticed, CRO and Avalanche, I'd say some of the bigger entrants as of the last couple weeks. CRO, of course, having a pretty amazing couple weeks. Beyond that, yes, Solana's had a big come up this year, but indeed the doggies and some of the meme coins dropping out of the top spot of CoinMarketCap. Saying it so. What's wrong with this picture? Not going to see anything else I would like to add to that particular topic. There isn't a whole lot except as this article dubs it the Great Recalibration. Is the market finally falling out of love with the sheebs and the doggy coins? I guess that remains to be seen. Every time I counted out Doge, it seems to rocket back up. So, with that said, not much more to add to this, but maybe the meme coins are finally being put out to pasture. With that said, let's go ahead and get to this next piece. It comes from Decrypt. Pokemon Go creator Niantic Labs. Fold launch Bitcoin hunting air game. Okay. What's this about? Fold is using technology developed by Niantic for its popular mobile game to bring the same experience to Bitcoin rewards. Huh, so is this the Bitcoin of Pokemon Go? No way. Let's examine the story, guys. Not content with gamers capturing digital monsters, Niantic Labs, the company behind Pokemon Go, is taking things to a whole new level, enabling the Fold app. You guys might be familiar with Fold. It's like a digital wall app. They're bringing this enabling Fold app users to catch Bitcoin rewards. Niantic Labs has partnered with Fold, the company behind the Bitcoin rewards app of the same name, and they're launching Fold AR. It's an augmented reality experience on the Fold mobile app. Instead of hunting for rare creatures, though, Fold app users will find and collect Bitcoin and other prizes by exploring the world around them. Niantic released an AR app called Reality Blending for the smash hit Pokemon Go. The game's players use their mobile app's camera to project images of Pokemon into the real-world environment. Well, Fold CEO Will Reeves says Fold users will have a similar experience, but instead of finding different kinds of Bitcoin, or instead of finding Pokemon, they're going to find different kinds of Bitcoin rewards. Initially, you can earn Sats, which is, of course, the smallest denomination of Bitcoin, but you can also earn Spins, which allow you to earn even more Bitcoin via the Fold app. Reeves told Decrypt an email based on a demo video shared by Fold. These rewards will appear on screen as 3D coins and other items, which users will find and collect by exploring their own environments. Down the line, he says, you'll be able to find actual collectibles in the Fold AR experience that endow holders with special privileges, increased earning opportunities, on and on and on and on. All right, guys. Well, I haven't used the Fold app. I haven't used this Fold in their is it Bitcoin cashback rewards? I think that's what they do. Now they're bringing
cashback.
Yeah, bringing like a Pokemon Go spin-off. Hey, I mean, how many sats are they giving out? Maybe good ones. Let's see here. Does it say how much money they're dedicating to giving? That would be cool, right? To know how much of Bitcoin they're requiring to give out. With that said, Fold users get to spend additional price. All right, that's enough of that. Kind of a shilly post from Decrypt today concerning this Bitcoin hunting game Fold. But hey, I mean, this is kind of significant. I mean, Niantic Labs, the guys from Pokemon Go, this is a monster company in this space now. This is significant. Them bringing a Bitcoin hunting game, or helping at least Fold bring a Bitcoin hunting game, that's kind of cool. I must admit, I'm probably going to go download this Fold app. Hopefully there's no KYC. Oh, you did? All right, cool. Let me know if there's KYC.
Yeah, I can't quite find it yet because I think that they want you to.
KYC.
I might be on the wrong thing because this looks like a finance app, not a game.
Oh, the game's within the finance app.
Oh, it's okay. Then it might
Somewhere
be right. Then I don't have a Fold account.
Yep, you might have to log in and figure that out. But if anyone else is collecting big biddies out there, let me know. That is the update. That is your update. Let's have a look here. Here's a piece from Decrypt. Rarible adds a messenger feature to Ethereum NFT marketplace. A first of its kind feature lets users connect directly to discuss NFT purchases and more. Something I hope they bring to. I don't really use the Rarible Rarible NFT marketplace. I'm more keen on using OpenSea as much as I don't like OpenSea. And well, here's a little development. Something that OpenSea could really use if you've ever been on an NFT marketplace. Being able to message the seller and maybe negotiate them would be such a nice feature.
That
Well,
would be nice.
yeah, Rarible finally on that. NFT marketplace Rarible has launched a messaging service that lets users communicate with their wallet addresses. Rarible plans to eventually expand the service outside of the marketplace to be a standalone Web3 communication tool. Yeah, I like this. I love the fact that they have people that can communicate via wallet addresses. Be able to make initial contact with people without having to exchange like your phone number, so you can add them to your WhatsApp or that kind of BS. It was really great to be able to just kind of be able to type in a wallet address and be like, I want to message this person on the chain, right? Let's see here. Amid growing demand for NFTs, including a nearly $10 billion worth of trading volume in Q3, the marketplaces that sell the tokenized digital collectibles are shifting and evolving to try and win more market share. Today, Rarible revealed that it's making a social play, launching messaging functionality on its marketplace. Rarible Messenger is a new feature on NFT Marketplace, allowing prospective buyers and sellers to communicate about transactions, shared interests, and more. Rather than forcing users to look elsewhere to communicate, whether it's social media, Discord, or email, Rarible is putting the functionality right on their site. It's a first for the NFT marketplace, as all Rarible is unlikely to be the only player making such a move. Coinbase, for instance, has announced plans for its upcoming NFT marketplace will also have a social layer. However, Coinbase's approach sounds more like a Facebook-esque activity feed, while Rarible is targeting direct communication with this new effort. The tool is now available in Rarible's marketplace. The company announced, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'll leave a link below if you want to learn a little more about Rarible and this new tool. But with that said, good development. I hope it comes to OpenSea. There's so many things that I leave bids on that I'd like to haggle with the people. All you can do is just leave an offer for them. What if I'd like to leave an offer and a message, right? Hopefully that comes to OpenSea soon. Let's go ahead and get into the next piece. We're doing good on time today. Why is this crypto billionaire abandoning Ethereum? Asks News BTC. Let's have a look. Ethereum, second largest crypto project in the globe, has enjoyed support, and recent years its growth has been great. Blah 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 blah. But we have this gentleman here, Su Zhu, CEO and CIO of Three Arrows Capital, Singapore-based fund management firm, says he supported Ethereum for a while recently, but he was leaving the digital asset behind. This came as a shock, but Zhu's reasons for making the move has proven some merit behind it, blah, blah, blah. All right, well, so what is it? I think we talked about this on the show even yesterday. Somebody asked, will there be an Ethereum flippening? And so let's see if this kind of is in that same vein. In a series of tweets posted to Twitter, CEO outlined his reasons for exiting the second largest crypto in the market. According to Zhu, the barriers to entry for Ethereum have become too high for it to be a feasible investment to newcomers. He explained that just as he has abandoned the project, so has the project abandoned its users. Here's a tweet. Yes, I have abandoned Ethereum, he says. Despite supporting it in the past, Ethereum has abandoned its users despite them supporting them. The idea of sitting around jerking off, watching the burn, and concocting purity tests while zero newcomers can afford the chain is absolutely gross. Yes, I guess he's pointing out the huge barrier entry, high cost of ETH, insane cost of gas, not quite a domain for new people to really get into. If you're already an existing Ethereum bag holder, probably easier to crack into the space. Zhu explained that Ethereum has gone too big to care for what the blockchain had set out to do in the first place, implying that the project has lost its way. He had then suggested it needed a reminder in the way of a bear market to set it back on track again. On the flip side of that, the CEO had also suggested that maybe migrating to a new chain may be the next best thing for Ethereum. Going further, Zhu addressed the negative feedback that his initial tweets had garnered from the Ethereum community. He pointed out the exorbitantly high fees that are now required to transact on the network, stating that users are livid that they're promised a vision of the future and then they're told they have to pay $100,000 or $100 to $1,000 per transaction to enjoy it. And then they get told that some tales about how they should have been smart enough to buy ETH at $10. Zhu's tweets come after his fund manager firm has disclosed that they're getting out of Ethereum. And that they're investing in their rival blockchain Avalanche. It was revealed the firm had been a contributor to Blizzard, which finances developers building on the van, blah, 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 blah. All right, so they've even throwing a little bit of money behind. All right, so I'm not surprised here that he's slagging off Ethereum. Sounds like he's hitching his wagon to the next coming up competitor, which is Avalanche. Well, I guess I'm glad I'm holding a few AVAXs now, aren't I? With that said, guys, let's go ahead and get into the next piece. Let me just check in on AVAX. $127 Averino. All right, I'll have to go check my wallet sometime, see where my AVAX stands. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the next piece. Mark Cuban's weighing in on the Staples Center name changing to Crypto.com Arena. Crypto space has been a buzz recently with the news of the Crypto.com sealing a massive deal that saw it become the new Staples Center. In a $700 million deal, the infamous Staples Center, home of the LA Lakers, has been renamed to the Crypto.com Arena. This is one of the most significant deals to take place within the crypto and sports space. Crypto.com has been on a streak lately with its marketing moves. The crypto exchange has released a video that featured American actor and producer Matt Damon. This ad had given much credence to the project with its "Fortune favors the bold" tagline. I didn't even know that. Did you know that Matt Damon threw down for a...
What?
Did you know Matt
Did I know
Damon? He starred in a Crypto.com ad? Huh, I didn't know that.
No, I did not know that. But I also don't see commercials too often.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, it's directed by Oscar winner Wally Fisser and will be aired in more than 20 countries. All right, cool. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, here it is. I'd play it, but I'm probably going to get copyright stricken, guys. But I guess this is... wow, this is Matt Damon going around the world. What is he, a real Renaissance man? And so, oh, Crypto.com. Future favors the bold, something like that. Well, Fortune favors the bold. That's right. Well, there you go, Matt Damon, and yes, even the Crypto.com Arena, the most recent deal. But what's Mark Cuban have to say? Shared his thoughts on the recent change to Staples Center Crypto.com Arena. Cuban was asked what his thoughts are. He responded that he thought it was a brilliant deal. Yeah, been sharing, blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's all you got to say. It's a brilliant deal. All right, well, congrats. Congrats to Crypto.com. I know it's a brilliant deal. It sure pumped my crypto bags in the last couple of weeks on the back of it.
That was doing good.
Big shout outs to Ciro and Mark Cuban. Let's get into the Block Crypto writes, U.S. banking regulators plan to publish crypto guidance through 2022. Federal bank regulators in the U.S. issued a statement today, Tuesday, summarizing the results of their interagency sprint toward clear crypto regulations. The regulators comprised of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the Federal Reserve, and the Federal FDIC have identified a number of areas they feel a need to be publicly clarified. According to a joint statement, the stated plan is to issue additional communications on this front throughout 2022. Today's statement does not seek to alter any existing rules or regulations. The agency's work focused on bolstering internal understanding and defining the regulatory parameters for each agency in context of crypto activities. Head of the Office of the Comptroller of Currency, Mr. Michael Su, called for the so-called policy sprint back in May. The efforts saw the OCC, the Fed, and the FDIC collaborate what they intend to be a unified approach to crypto. And at the start of this month, Su announced that all offices involved have concluded their collective review, and the industry could expect communications on crypto standards in the coming weeks. All right, so there you go, guys. Throughout 2022, the agencies plan to provide greater clarity on whether certain activities related to crypto assets or by banking organizations are legally permissible. And so the regulations are going to relate to crypto asset safekeeping, traditional custody services, ancillary custody services, facilitation of customer purchase and sales of crypto assets, loans collateralized by crypto assets, issuance and distribution of stablecoins, and finally activities involving the holding of crypto assets on balance sheets. Man, they're covering quite a few bases here. So there you have it, guys. Expect a steady rollout of crypto guidance throughout the course of next year. The regulatory landscape is getting, I guess, bulldozed right here. Trust nodes. American footballers giving away 1 million Bitcoin for free. What? Another Bitcoin giveaway. Odell Beckham Jr. I think I've heard this guy before. One of the most famous American football players has announced he's giving away for free $1 million worth of Bitcoin to his Twitter users. Here's a quote. It's a new era to kick off, and I'm hyped to announce that I'm taking my new salary in Bitcoin thanks to the Cash App. To all my fans out there, no matter where you are, thank you. I'm giving back a total of 1 million Bitcoin right now. Drop your cash tag with OBJBTC to follow me on Cash App. He told his 4.1 million users with a video that received over 1 million views. This is one of the biggest Bitcoin giveaways in years, with the footballer also now receiving his $4.2 million annual salary in Bitcoin. The sum will be denominated in USD, but paid out in Bitcoin as Beckham goes crypto with his new Twitter profile showing a CryptoPunk NFT. Damn. He's among many, with Jimmy Fallon, Post Malone, basketball player Stephen Curry, and Tobias Harris, as well as others, recently showing ape NFTs on their profile pictures. Other sports stars are also getting into Bitcoin, like Aaron Rodgers, who will receive part of his salary in Bitcoin. That says Bitcoin goes mainstream culturally in the U.S. and more celebs are getting on the crypto train. Sure seems
4
to...
Days Yacht Club is going to be the new Illuminati.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah, they certainly carved that niche out really well and already attracted so many like big names and investors. Incredible,
Yep.
incredible. Hopefully we can replicate that in other projects. Luxury whiskey bottles NFT'd on Ethereum. Huh. 288,000. That's how much an Ethereum address wants for a JPEG of a whiskey bottle. JPEG also comes with the bottle described as an ultra rare Glenfiddich, 46-year-old. Glenfiddich. All right. Well, now you know. 46-year-old.
Glenfiddich is a Scotch whiskey.
Well, there you go. It's a 46-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey finished for 21 years in a Armagnac cask, strictly limited edition of 15 numbered bottles. Well, if you guys want.
I'm sure that there are people out there there's some whiskey aficionados that would go ham for that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a whiskey expert, but hey, I mean, if this is what a 46
That's comparable like to the Johnny Walker Greens and stuff like that, but that one's probably even more because Glenfiddich only has like a couple of those bottles, like 15 of
exactly
them.
15
they'll probably
numbered
crank that up.
bottles of 46-year-old Scotch single malt Scotch whiskey, guys. I don't know what something like that is really worth. Is it worth in the hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, in this case, get your NFT and the bottle to go with it. It's crazy. NFTs breaking into so many spaces right now. I know it seems like a gimmick.
I said it a year and a half ago. I'm like, I think that NFTs will eventually be part of everything.
Yep.
Every business model.
Yeah, I don't want to pretend like it's a gimmick, guys. Kind of is, but at the same time, if I had option, do you want to take a paper receipt or would you like a digital copy in the form of NFT, sir, for your bottle of whiskey? I'll say, give me the NFT, please.
And that's a perfect scenario for people like that anyways, because that is one of those sectors where you find people that would rather pay a ton just to brag that they have it, right?
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, that's what the NFTs do. So if you have this Glenfiddich NFT, then like, God damn, he can afford that bottle of whiskey. Like,
yep,
it's gonna be that same thing, right? It's just gonna be that weird flex. People are just gonna find different ways to do it.
Yeah, you get to you get to enjoy the bottle sitting in your bar or what's the word I'm looking for
It's your digital bar. I mean, at that point, like
you have one in your home.
Like, yeah, you'd have one in your home, but then you'd also have one in your Ethereum wallet on the blockchain that people could see.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I like about this stuff, right? So I pick up a few bottles, we drink them, and at least I have an FT to show for it, rather than just some empties, right? And then when you go cruise
how many goddamn Seagram 7s NFTs I would have.
Right. Exactly. You go to my OpenSea and you'd see a nice collection. Like, damn, this guy's just got drinks single malt, eh? Is what they'll say when they go cruise my OpenSea. Pretty cool. With that said, it's 1:30. I think it's time to get into the next segment. I have one more news item. Elon Musk, a Binance CEO, on Twitter fighting over crypto exchange and the Dogecoin wallet. No way. So Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Binance CEO CZ got off into a bit of a Twitter feud today following issues surrounding Dogecoin withdrawals over on Binance. According to Binance, issues encountered over Dogecoin withdrawals are down to a technical issue caused because the exchange has a different technical wallet set up for Doge. But since the incident occurred, Doge Network has been providing us with support. We have to rebuild the wallet entirely. It's causing a delay. We expect it may last another week or so, Binance said. Damn, real Dogecoin problems over there on Binance. The honorary Dogecoin CEO, aka Elon Musk, was less than pleased with the exchange's update. Musk took aim at CZ over the issue on Twitter, writing, "Hey CZ, what's going on with your Doge customers? Sounds shady." I like that. The Tesla CEO said, adding that Doge holders using Binance should be protected from errors that are not their fault. Wow. Advocating for the Binance Doge holders. Binance's official Twitter account was the first to respond, stating the issue was not shady, but frustrating, and we are working on it. The Binance CEO also claimed via his personal Twitter account, Elon, we are pretty certain it's an issue with the latest Doge wallet. We are in communication with their devs. Apologies for any inconvenience that this may have caused to you, CZ said before ending his tweet with a link to Tesla's software glitch that caused nearly 12,000 cars to be recalled over safety concerns. Damn, he low blow.
Yeah, they're clowning on each other now.
Yep. Amid that Musk and CZ drama, Dogecoin developers tweeting under the Dogecoin devs account attempted to provide some clarity. A bit over a year ago, they said Binance notified us that they had stuck transactions. We were not shown these transactions. It was suggested that they were stuck due to insufficient funds. But according to Debs, all right, it's a little more technical, a bit of he said, she said type of business. But it's nice to see these two guys exchanging blows on a Tuesday. We're blowing up on a Tuesday. With that said, guys, there is your look at the news today. Let's go ahead and get to the next segment. What do we have in store for you today? Oh, yes, it's the bubbles. What's going on in y'all space today? Man, mighty green, mighty big bubbles. Some nice alt plays today. Bitcoin.
I think that's reflected in Bitcoin dominance.
Yeah, Bitcoin and ETH kind of see a little bit of a bounce, but alts really rip. Let's get into it. Sand token up another 27% today, heading towards $6. Wow, what a run on Sand. CRO is up another 15%. It's at 85 cents. Kicking myself for selling my CRO at nearly 60 cents.
You did fine.
I did okay. Let's see here. Phantom FTM is up nearly 19%. AMP, yes, the AMP token up 33%. LRC Loopring up almost 30%. And then we got some smaller gainers as well. QNT 13%, Curve 13, IMX another 13, ENJ is also up a little over 14%. And we got some smaller gainers. MANA, BNB, Maker, Matic, all up about 6%. Couple small losers. Well, the symbol token I'll ignore. Sheeb's down 6%. GALA is down a little over 10%. Blockstacks is down nearly 10% as well. Bit of a mixed bag, but most some decent gains in the alt space. So you're either sideways or you might.
It's still good for GALA. I mean, it's been like 50, 60, 70, and then also it has one day of pullback at 10. Like GALA's been on fire.
Yeah, I think GALA's still on the weekly. If I flip my, let's see, it's flipped.
Probably still up over 100% on the weekly.
Yes, sir. Yep, it's up 200% on the weekly. Yeah. CRO is up 100% on the week. Sand is up 70. There's a little weekly update for you guys. Let's go back to the daily. Big shout outs to everybody holding any of these juicy alts pumping today. Let's go ahead and get into the next scene. Who's kicking it with us in the chat today? Let's get into the famous CC audience. Here we go. All right. Scrolling up, Ron Legato on YouTube. First in the chat, big shout outs to our boy Ron Legato. Happy Tuesday from Rhino TD. Big happy Tuesday to you, my man. Have you all peeped the price of CRO? Remember I said it would be $1. Change my mind. I'm thinking if they're, so yeah, it's going to head to $1. Shame I sold it 50 something cents. Vintique Sound. Shoutouts to Vintique Sound. Giddy up, partner. All right. Well, I haven't seen you before, Vintique Sound, but welcome to the show. Please do follow and subscribe. You know we come live to you every day. Well, I think it was Cavano Trades. So Cavano Trades, you just dox yourself. Crypto Cats, big shout outs to you. Hey there, good evening all. Big shout outs to Crypto Cats. Party time, all right. All right. Franklin MC, a very good day to you. Jonah, love the show. Hey everybody, man, it's getting crazy out there. Talking about what? Just conditions on the ground in America, or you're talking about the markets? The markets are volatile.
We'll get Jack started now.
A bit of both. Flash is over. Shoutouts to you on DLive. New user, haven't seen you before. CryptoBull21's with us on YouTube. Nice hash login. YouTube got rid of dislikes. Too many haters on stuff they push. Yeah, a lot of stuff on there got ratioed, especially anything coming from the White House and so on and so forth. They really had to clean that up. Can't have the hate mobs flooding the Biden admin all the time, right? Cavano Trades feels like a tiny bounce for now. It sure does. Is this actually gonna come through for us? My amp is stinking, it looks like, huh? Moonshine Fuel says. No, I think your amp might be doing alright. Wasn't it one of the top bubbles? Big shouts to you. CC nailed it, says Moonshine Fuel. Or CRO nailed it. Yes, CRO indeed nailed it. Crypto Jenny, shoutouts to you. Nice to have Crypto Jenny back. Peckham08, what a lovely dump in the pump. Alright. Mr. Ether, I'm going to spray and pray on a bunch of gaming coins. Well, I hope one of them pays off big time. Come on to trades.
Well, with the amount of coins that I know that he's in, he's destined for success, for God's sakes.
Mr. Ether's had luck so far. He picked some good winners, so I presume you might be onto something here. Come on to trades. Every trade is just a probability.
Let me know when you do it so I can follow suit.
Word. Every trade is just a probability. Got to completely accept that fact. Exactly. There's no,
Yep.
It's just
as soon as you start taking it personally or emotionally, then you are already losing the game.
Beef
and that's what the market wants you to do, because the market couldn't succeed as well as it does without people reacting off of emotion. If everyone was a great investor, then there would be no liquidity.
B-Flow, hola to B-Flow. Kalana Trades reminds us that trading in the zone really pushes this fact. Exactly. Let's see here. Camera does not look very good. Is it the same bandwidth? Oh, well, no, it was
We're gonna have
okay.
to work on that, because I don't know. This is a 4K camera. Like,
It's maybe because I'm capturing the side thumbnail, but we'll see. We'll deal with that at another opportunity.
yeah. Not
We have to figure it out because if we're getting camera, yeah, we'll deal with that. Rough neighborhood. Better call. No comment. What cam are you using? Some kind of 4K Logitech, I guess. Peckham 082.
Logitech Brio 4K.
There you go. Who protects the protector? Bitcoin. High hemp wraps. Interesting. All in on ENJ. Well, shout outs to hemp wraps and your ENJ trade. Moonshine Fuel, we're here to protect you. Like the mob protecting stores from getting robbed back in the day. Okay. We have not seen a new Midwest clip of comedic value. When new? Well, hang tight. Hang tight. Jason did a few for my community over at the Incognito NFT. Check that out.
We're still working on stuff.
B-Flow, stop it, Peckham. That logic don't fly around here. Mr. Ether, wow, yeah, it should be better. What software is capturing your camera? Discord, obviously, and then it goes to me, and then I apply, the green screen filter on my end. So, maybe through all.
Look at Mr. Ether giving them lemons back, dropping a Ninja Guinea.
Oh, hello. Hello.
1,000 lemons. That's like $10 million worth, I'm pretty sure.
Incredible. Mr. Ether, thank you so much for the Ninja Guinea. That really does help top up our coffers. It does go a long way, man. I really do appreciate it.
It goes right back to you guys.
It does. It goes right back to you guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Moonshine Fuel, just pay us and play by our rules, and we'll protect you from the bad man. Exactly. That's exactly how it seems the central banks are operate. Franklin MC, central bank sounds nervous. Mr. Ether, we would never be happy seeing the old chips. Ron Legato, the old clips. Yes, the old clips. We would even be happy seeing the old clips. It's true. It's true. I'm right. You are right, Mr. Ether. Ron Legato, you're stupid and laughing all the way past the bank. Okay. I miss the old days, says Peckham 08. Well, the old days are gone. We have to make do with what we got.
Pretty soon we'll call these the old days, so just keep
Make
that
a
in reference.
cloud-based fun clip, as in no windows left to jump from. I see, because we're so high. Well, how about that? Is it bad? I just don't understand. Sheeb and Doge as Moonshine Fuel? Nope, not bad at all. I think you're doing fine. Ether1, hi everybody. Big shoutouts to you. Dirk Rico, big shoutouts to you. Who let the dogs out? Asked Mr. Ether. Dave Rice is with us. Crypto Cats is with us as well. We fix phones and tablets. Orlando Park, can you take a look at Tezos? Yeah, I'll add Tezos to the request line. It's a lovely day. Don't get wrecked. Thank you very much, David Rice. Good advice. Let's see. Let's get the last few comments knocked out. We're going to get into the next segment, guys. Profit Bear, Moonshine Fuel already mentioned. Guys, I'd love to read all your comments. Joan, I love the show. Spin the fold wheel every day. It earned me $109 in sats so far. Oh, okay. Well, I got to get my full nap and start spinning that wheel. Also, check in to free Bitcoin as often as I can. Free Bitcoin every hour. Been doing that since 2017. I've got $200 in that. Wow, sounds like 4 years of opening the Fold app.
Stacking a single stat at a time.
Well, you might get the last laugh when that 200 turns into 200,000 one day somehow, but you never know. Dark Rico, big shoutouts to you. Sketch on investing in NFTs now and what a failed person would look like in the future metaverse using real people and clothing.
A whole bag of hats, so I could probably make that pretty funny.
Somebody's logging. CRO, Crypto Junkie, shoutouts to you. All right, we're going to get into the next segment, guy. Epic Gamer, what do you guys think I should invest in? Ask Epic Gamer. That's a tough question. Investment sounds like a long-term prospect, so we're not really going to give you investment advice on here. Dollar cost.
Learn.
Yep, learn, pick up some skills. Dollar cost average. If you don't know what to buy, probably Bitcoin or Ethereum, and buy a little bit every week for...
Get into our Discord and learn how to trade first, man.
Well, potentially that too. But if you want to invest, I get it. Some people just need to buy and hold, and that's good by them. That'll work. Just buy the right coins, I guess. Let's see here. Moonshine Fuel. I jumped in the FTX token a while ago. It's probably going to be a while. CRO nailed it though. All right. Well, maybe FTX is going to warm up at some point too. I want a CRO dip. I bought in at 0.4 and now I sold at 56. When will CRO dip? All right. Watch what you wish for, says Mr. Ether. FTX token will probably shine in 2022. I got a request for XRD, and let's have a look here. Coinbase didn't hurt the price. Fear over greed, 33 over 100. It's a great advert. Suspecamo 8. Fortune favors the brave. Well done. CRO is good too. It's going to $1 at some point. It says Moonshine Fuel. And Jonah, love the show. That's what I meant the other week. Fortune favors the brave. All right, now I know what they were referring to. With that said, guys, I would love to read all your comments, but I think that's everybody. 907 Alaska, how to get Bitcoin as investment? Well, buy Bitcoin. Go to Coinbase, go to your local ATM, buy Bitcoin, learn how to hold it safely and store it safely. If CRO goes to $10 in the next few years, I have retired. $10 CRO, yeah, I guess that would take me to. I think that would take me to $1 million. That would be good. $10 CRO, let's go. $1 million? Did I do that math right? I'll figure that out. And later, with that said, guys, we have got to get into the next segment. The analysis comes your way next. Jason, I'm hopping into your screen right now. All right, we're already in here. Everything's aligned. Jason's back on screen. We got his webcam in the corner, looking good. Look at the BTC USD 24-hour chart on Bitstamp. I'm going to go start collecting requests, guys. We're going to get into the requests in about 10-15 minutes. In the meantime, Jason will quickly run through his market scan. Much love. I'll be back.
All right. Well, I mean, there's not really much more to say here, other than that we are sideways going down. Last week when we were looking here on Friday, I did state that I thought that the daily would likely close within this channel to give everybody indecision on whether or not we're going to go up or down from here, and then likely go sideways, and if not, end up selling off. And we ended up selling off right back down here where I entered into the short right here that the group was in. We came up here to test that and then dip back down. This is one of the reasons why I love stop loss timeouts so much, because that would have got wicked out. But now we sit down here with another continuation short signal on the daily. I think that it's going to be super important to pay attention to this daily signal as well as lower time frames. But looking across the market and what's happening with Bitcoin dominance here, I do think that there might be some plays in the alts and ETH here that look a lot stronger than Bitcoin per se. If we go down to say like the 4 hour here, we are getting some bottoming behavior and now finally starting to get a little bit of a crossover here, but much weaker here in comparison if we come here and look at Ethereum. Ethereum looks very strong on the 4 hour, closing above the 200 EMA on the 4, as well as clearing up all of this resistance that Bitcoin just quite has not been able to make up yet. I think that it'll either likely sell off here or go sideways and let other things run. I think Ethereum looks crazy strong. If we come over here to Ethereum dominance, I think you can see that very easily reflected in the days that we've had. Now starting to close here above this channel, which is extremely bullish in my opinion for Ethereum. Looking at the 3-day, I mean, this just looks like a breakout to me. At the beginning of a breakout. So that the monthly here, coming up here to not quite out of the water yet, but I think that it's beginning to build here. Daily coming up to resistance. Not anything you can quite take yet. Actually, today will end up being a continuation signal. But I would watch that level. Close back above here. Close anything like this. I think you're good to take this continuation to the upside. I think that I'll likely be watching this 4 hour signal. It might get sold into here on ETH. So in 2 hours it closes. It is still a shaved candle, which usually when you see that, I like to wait until the close because you don't usually get closes like that, especially off of signals when it wicked to the upside. So we'll just have to see if this gives us anything. But for now, I think that we're good to be in the positions that we are on the daily and just kind of looking for the evidence of getting that pressure to the upside as well as closing back above resistance levels. Because looking at Bitcoin here, if it closes below that 57,000 range underneath this resistance with this continuation short, I will likely be adding to my Bitcoin short position. Because I think that we got another leg down to come down here and test that 48 if that ends up being the case. Because weakness here, I think that you'll see 2 more candles right here that'll mimic that coming down this way. and then likely get wicked into if this closes below that 57 range. I think I like that for a setup. But again, we'll have to wait for the 4 hour to close in order to see that if we're actually getting that momentum to the upside. But Bitcoin's just not giving that to us, and I don't think it's going to be there. But Ethereum does look very strong here. Minx has given us this continuation short, but I don't know if it's going to end up giving it to us by the end of the day if this crosses over. As you can see here, Minx's time transformation is much more sensitive on this. Never even got the crossover and now opening back up. So I don't think that this looks very good for a continuation off of Ethereum. But looking at the 4 hour like this, like I say, any close like this, then I think you're likely to get more continuation to the upside. So that's something to pay attention to. The alt's looking very similar. Shitperp definitely looking the best. But a lot of continuation signals on today. And that's one of the reasons why I try to avoid them, because they don't backtest that well for my 13. Because often what you'll find is a reversal comes right on the precipice of a continuation. So I think that it's probably going to behoove me to just be patient, wait to see where we close, and then either exit my short that's in profit or end up adding to it if we get that close below 57. Dragon Perp looking very weak here, just hasn't got the buyback that anything else has. Kind of resembles Bitcoin there a little bit. Exchange Perp just getting bought back up to the baseline. A lot of baseline bounce here, so nothing really that exciting. Mid Perp finally getting back over here, but coming up to resistance here. I think Shit Perp out of all of them looked the best here. We are at some resistance here, but this is a quality long signal, especially if you got that close back above this resistance here, sitting at around like that 96.57. But I think that this is indicative that we can go into the list of shitcoins and likely find some coins that are giving us good signals. So that's something that I'm going to be doing tonight when just looking at this, because I think that with Bitcoin dominance falling the way that it is, that we're likely to see some alts get some good gains out of that. And looking at bubbles, I think that you're seeing that. So I think that's a good sign. Gold kind of getting just hammered here. Very quick sell-off on gold, kind of surprising to see. Coming back down here, you just kind of got to see how it reacts, but this doesn't look very strong for gold. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, just a weekly bearish engulfing candle. You're just going to have to see if this level holds here. But if you took the long that we were looking at here, you would have made plenty. You would have definitely hit some TPs, and then it reverses on you. I mean, that's just part of trading. And if you're not taking those take profits, then over time you're gonna just keep getting slammed like this. This is why I switched to a systematic based style of trading, because it puts the take profits on the table, and I can't do anything about that. And when they get hit, they get hit. But I also make profit, and then you kind of got to get away from that mentality of the fear of missing out on other profit. Just worry about making some profit first. Then you can start worrying about where you can look in your strat to start catching more of those gains. But until then, make sure you're using take profits, because when things like this happen, then you're just screwed. It's a gigantic waste of your time. Silver looking the same. Precious metal just kind of getting hammered here. Dow Jones looking negative, but getting a little bit of a buyback here. Would not surprise me if we reclaim this level here at that 35.7. But again, I will say that it has me worried the way that the Dixie's looking. These look like they're just coming down to test these past historical resistance levels. SPY doing the exact same thing, coming down to test this level. But when we look at the Dixie, man, the Dixie's just so damn strong right now. Especially breaking out of this wedge, which would lead me to believe that we're going to have a test of at least that 97 range. And I think that we're well on that parabolic route. This angle of attack is quite high. So it would not shock me if we got followed through up to there and then went sideways to break this angle. But the Dixie looks so strong that it's hard for me to be bullish on traditional markets. They are coming down to test levels of support, and whether those become support or not, we just have to be patient with it. But with the Dixie looking as strong as it does, I can't imagine that these are just going to rip back to the upside. But then again, the Dixie could reverse, and then we could see traditionals start to boom again. But other than that, looking at these, I'm still pretty weak on the market here. I think Ethereum does look like it's shaping up. The alt space looks like some of them are catching up in the sense of the buybacks that we're seeing, but the charts still look relatively bearish here, and we're getting continuation shorts. So, as for now, we'll just have to be patient with this, and if we end up getting that buyback to go back to the upside, then taking a range trade up to that like 63, I wouldn't have a problem doing that, especially if I get that full signal on the 4. But until then, I'm still just going to remain in my short and see what happens.
All right. Big shout outs to Bishop122 joining us in the chat. Hola to Bishop122. Murdoch de Murloc also joining us. Yes, for Dixie. We just looked at Dixie a second ago. Hopefully that covered your thoughts on the Dixie. Mr. Ether coming through. He gave us a Ninja Genie earlier. Now he's giving out subs in the D-Live chat. First 3 to donate an ice cream, get a sub, says Mr. Ether. I think the ice creams already went out. Congratulations and thank you to Mr. Ether for being so generous with our community. And finally, send me a Bitcoin and I'll send you some pizza slices. Says Jonah, love the show.
Oh, you Papa John's.
I am getting mighty hungry. I might take you up on that offer. Damn, it's getting crazy up in her. Yes, it certainly is. We are about to get into the request line, guys. Let's do it. Let's put the first request up on screen. Almost at the top of the hour. We're doing really great on time. Thank you to Jason for holding it down during the TA segment. We're getting into the request line and now putting up the first request on screen. Here we go. All right. This first one comes from Rhino TD. Big shout outs to our boy Rhino. Have y'all peeped the price of CRO? Remember I said it'd be $1. Changed my mind. I'm thinking it's going to be if they're successful. All right, Jason. It's been running. What do you think? We're on our way to $1?
I mean, it looks fantastic, man. You have I would think 3 parabolic trends within this, which is not something that you see that often, but you do see it with things that just begin to run. You did get a continuation off of this signal right here, which would have already had you at TP1, to be honest with you. But let's look at the weekly. I mean, I think that it's absolutely destined to at least hit $1 here, to be honest with you. Let's just see if you're at some important resistance levels there.
No, first time it's ever been up here.
Well, no, yeah.
Yeah, you do a fib extension? No. Gotcha.
Yeah, we're just going to do a fib extension to see if we're hitting any kind of historical. I mean, yeah, you're right at the top of that, like literally to a T, the very top resistance level if you're using just a regular Fen-based fib extension. So I don't think that it's a crazy moment to be taking some profits off the table, but with the way that this is running, it's one of those things you can never know. This looks strong. Wait till you get a break of one of these trends to get out, but I think that at 85 cents, another 15 cents wouldn't be too much. What is that running from here?
That 20%?
Yeah, around like that 18% more. Mm-hmm. But I mean, look at the chart. It looks great.
It does.
It's like one of those things that you're looking for weakness just because it's like so hard to believe that it's just going without any weakness like this. But it is. Like that's kind of where it's at. Like it could go to $1. It could sell back off down to this level. But with the way that this angle of attack is, I think what you should be doing is sitting in it, taking profit if you're nervous. But I think by now you should have at least taken some profit. If you haven't, take 50% off the table or your initial investment and let it run. Depends on if it's an investment, of course. But those people that are holding Crow in their cards, like that's going to be something different than just taking a regular day trade. I wouldn't suggest buying right here. Why would you buy at the top of a run that it's already went 350% in the last 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Yeah, you don't buy that candle, right? But as for being in this is bullish. Yes, I mean, rising explosion level, everything you want to see, unnatural volume, curling up way on that rising explosion level, which, I mean, again, with the fib extension, we're almost getting out of that. So do with that what you will. Crow looks great, and I think it could continue. I think it's likely going to be a good investment over the course of the next 5 years. But buying it right now, I think you're probably going to get pounded within the next couple of months, maybe, because it could run from here and then sell off. But again, that's not what I do. I day trade. I'm just looking for opportunities, and I think the juice is squeezed for a day trade for me here. But as Crow for an investment, I think they have a great future.
Seems like we should have longed it right there in. Yeah, there was a nice signal right there at the beginning of this run up.
Right here.
Yep, pretty much. Crossed over zero, WADA, everything was firing. And if you aborted the train right there, well, you'd be celebrating about now. With that said, there is a look at Crow. I sure feel good holding at least my initial stake locked up. But
yeah, right.
A little salty, I dumped all my rewards a little early. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the next request. It's AMP, Moonshine Fuel. My AMP is striking, it looks like. Or striking?
Oh.
Let's give AMP a look.
Yeah. I mean, look at it, man. To be honest with you, I would take profit on this candle. If you were in it, I would take profit in it because it's likely to pull back here. And even if it doesn't, I don't think that you're just going to break out. But you could. Looking at the weekly, let's see. Is that giving you a continuation? The good signal on the weekly here, getting a little dip and now getting continuation. I don't actually think that this... Well, wait, never mind. It already wicked up and hit TP1. If this hadn't have gone up and hit TP1, this would be one that I would look at on the weekly to where I'm like, okay, I can just get a little better entry. Not a better entry, but in the sense that I've already dealt with the drawdown on the pullback, and taking the entry here I don't think it'd be low risk, because then you could definitely get out below here, which is well above your stop loss, as well as if it does get back below here, then you know that this is likely going to be a false signal. But just a hell of a day on it. It's going to definitely violate any kind of candle size violation I could have from here. A close back, but it does look like it's fighting to be back under resistance. But a great day on AMP. We can't argue with that. The weekly does look like it's bullishly postured as well here. But if you were going to be in that, you should have already been in it and already hit TP1. But yeah, buying at the top of this candle, I think it will not do you any good. Because look at it historically, whenever we've had a big candle out of this, especially one of this size, you usually get sold into. But then again, take that as you will. If you're in this coin, I don't think it's silly to stay in it, but make sure that you take some profit before you just let the whole position ride, and then it gets sold back into, and then suddenly you're back under these levels.
Sell here, buy up the baseline. That is your look at AMP. Big shout outs to Moonshine Fuel for that one. Moonshine Fuel says guaranteed people are buying the hell out of that candle. I'm not sure if he's referring to CRO or AMP that we're looking at now, but yes, I guarantee you the big green candles.
FOMO is real, and guess what? There's going to be a lot of butthurt people when like, why did I do that? I knew not to do that. I knew it. Like it happens every single time, and like I said, even if this happens to be one of those times where it actually does continue to just run straight through, if you get a rising explosion level out of this next candle, meaning that this would have to encompass the entire ATR of that plus a little bit more to get it to rise, that's a crazy scenario that does not play out that often. And if you're looking to play that, I guarantee the amount of times you try to play it and get burned is going to way outweigh the times that you got it right. You just don't buy the tops of big green candles like this.
Indeed, good advice for all the retail suckers out there who are likely to do just that. With that said, that would be a look at AMP. AMP out of the way. Let's get into the next one. High Hemp Wraps. All in on ENJ, he says. Yeah, let's go give ENJ a look.
It's a beautiful continuation on ENJ. Is that a new all-time high? Yes, it is. ENJ sweeping here, getting a long signal out of there. Nothing quite to do with that weekly. But this weekly close here is super bullish, especially with the new all-time high. Getting a continuation on the daily. I think ENJ is primed, boy. I like this signal a lot. I'll be taking ENJ tonight if it closes anything like this. This is a very good signal for continuation. I like it a lot. Everything you want to see: rising explosion level, momentum coming in, time transformation crossing back over. You did get that continuation signal here, which would have been a little bit nicer of an entry right here, which would have given you basically the same long signal as this. This is a good long signal as well, which would have already ended up playing out, but this continuation is also good. So I'm going to definitely look to play this signal tonight. I like it a lot. The only way I couldn't take it is if it ends up closing back below this level, that 3.65. But with the way it looks, I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think that I'm going to end up in an ENJ trade tonight.
All right, well, that was a look at ENJ. Man, every time I hear ENJ, I think of the brandy, a famous American brandy brand. Am I the only one?
Gross. E and J.
Yeah, ENJ. You don't know ENJ?
Yes, I
Gross.
do.
Yeah, it's probably gross, but
It's way gross. But when you were a kid and couldn't get alcohol, like it was the only thing that you could get people to buy you.
wow, not sure how that works, but yes, I think of ENJ every time I hear
Not
ENJ.
good.
With that said, shout outs to Mr. Ether for the ENJ request. Actually, it was high hemp wraps, but nonetheless, I think Mr. Ether holds. Yes, he does. Mr. Ether writes, still hold ENJ in my engine wallet since 3 cents. Had forgotten about it until.
Well, you're almost at $4, bud. So big win.
Holy crap! From 4 cents to $4,
Right.
Mr. Ether, you owe me a
I'll do
beer.
that.
Or do I owe him a beer? I'm not sure which way. Who buys beers this time? With that said, big shout outs to High Temp Wraps. Let's get into the next request. We got the following High Temp Wraps. Hit me up. I could use some of those. We'll have a look here. We Fix Phones, Orlando Park. Can you give a look at Tezos? Is there a cup and handle forming since May? All right, long-term view, cup and handle.
Month. Long-term company. Well, since May. So what are you looking at, the daily?
Weekly, monthly?
I think I see what he's saying. Okay. So he's taking this as the cup and then this pullback here as the handle, which I don't actually hate that because you are coming down here and matching up into your 200 EMA and then starting to do that little alligator mouth on your baselines, and we're getting pinned in here. We are getting a continuation on the daily to the downside, and you are closing back below this 200 EMA. I don't think that this looks very strong at all, but it only looks weak until it doesn't. So there could be something to your hypothesis there on getting a descending channel breakout to the upside, because we haven't gotten any nice swings up here to cover any of the retracements that you would assume would happen. But looking at the daily right now, a close like this I think is very bearish, to be honest with you. I see what you're looking for there on that cup and handle, and coming back down here to test this mid range of price. I think that it's a good, you would definitely want to see this be the spot where you start to get that momentum back to the upside. But again, it's one thing that you just have to be patient with. And again, with continuation signals, they don't backtest the best, but it just depends on what you're looking at. A rising explosion level off of a continuation, I think, makes it a little bit stronger. So do with that what you will, but I think that there's a lot clearer trades out there. But if you do start to get that that buyback to the upside, you'll know relatively quickly on a close back above that $5.53. And if you get that, then I think you're likely to come back up here and test the high, that $7 range. So as of now, I think you should do nothing with it. If you close today below that $5.14, I do think that there's a continuation short on the table, the same way that I feel Bitcoin is. But you can just see that there's just a gigantic difference in this chart to say something like ENJ. ENJ is clearly breaking out its new all-time highs. This has actually just gotten sold into, and we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 continuation signals in a row. So that's where you kind of just got to go do your own back testing. This is something that I would likely avoid just because I've been burned on continuations too much. And we're right here in a spot where I think that will likely go sideways long enough for it to tell me that there's enough support here to go back to the upside. Because if we can't go down, then we'll go up. So wait for a close back below that $4.70 to know that we're going down. And I think we'll likely get some sideways action here to prove whether or not we have the strength to go up on XTZ or if it gets sold into. The weekly has not looked very good, but it's hard to argue with looking at this and getting a big green one out of it. I've seen that happen all the damn time. But everything looks weak. The weekly was a great short signal. You would have hit TP1 and been sitting in profit. And same with the daily. If you had taken the short at any time in the past few weeks on XTZ, you would have done well. So I think it's time to just let this sit and see what kind of close you get. But there could be something to your cup and handle premise.
All right.
It's not things that I trade. Yes, I'll look for them just to see if there's any kind of correlation to a signal that I'm getting. But I usually use other plays like ascending triangles, broadening wedges, descending channels, not usually cup and handles because they can be so damn subjective.
All right, well done. That would be an extended look at Tezos XTZ for our boy Fix Phones Orlando Park. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. It's the following for... who asked for ANKR? ANKR. It's Moonshine Fuel. It says ANKR is gearing up. Elivians, we're about 7 minutes to go. Get your lemons in. I'm going to go deploy the lemons in about 7 minutes. In the meantime, let's go give ANKR a look.
This is a hard one because it's giving you a quality short signal, but it's stuck within a pretty tight range here. Let me see. I mean, the argument could be made that you're getting some kind of a pennant here. Let's go down to the 12, see if we can get a better look at that. Yep, just kind of forming a pennant here. It does seem kind of weak in the sense that every single time we've gotten a pop-up, it's immediately got sold into. Nice dip down there. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to trust the system on this one. I think that this is a quality short signal. And I like where the stop loss is. I would have a timeout on it, of course, because if you did get that wick to the upside and then sold into, you'd be real pissed off about it. And you can see that this does like to behave that way. But looking at it right here, if you ended up getting a lower high on, or a higher low off of this short signal, and it get bought back up, probably take a couple of days to be honest with you, then I think that this is likely to reverse back to the upside, but the signal right now is to the downside with a rising explosion level, and I like that a lot. So if anything, I would say that ANKR is actually gearing up for a short. But again, the way that these things work out, you could get that swing down, hit TP1, and then reverse. You just never know. But there is a full short signal on the table right now, and momentum is gaining as well as the explosion level. So I would, if anything, I'd be short of ANKR if it closes below that 12 cents, 12 and a half cents, 12.6, right in there. Could end up being wrong, and then this ends up being support. But you just got to go with what your systems are. It's in a very tight range. And if it does get that that buyback to the upside, you're likely to get chopped up just like this. Short, long, short. So you might end up getting another long signal. And if you get that, get out of it. But as of here, I think that momentum is going to expand to the downside.
All right.
I don't think it's going to crash. But you still have a lot of untested spots down here that I think... I mean, it is interesting to see this level hold the way it is, but you are getting a full short signal. And again, when I get to the end of the day, I usually have quite a few signals, and I end up having to weed the ones out that look the weakest. So whether this ends up being a weaker one or not, I'll just have to see at the end of the day. But I'm definitely, if I have to look at this... or look at ENJ, like I'm definitely taking along on ENJ, or do I want to negate the short on just having that short exposure because I have Bitcoin already? So like I just have to think about my account and my balance of long to short ratio in a spot like this, because if we get that push to the upside, I'm already in positions that have locked in that profit. I don't want to be caught in the wrong direction, adding too much risk and then negating all the gains that I've made this month.
Yeah, that's
so.
That's a good way to think about it. Your overall portfolio position, longer short in this market, and what the next move in the
Well,
other direction will
it's
do.
important, man, because like when we get into a bull market, it just seems so easy because you could just keep pushing that green button and it keeps working out. But then when we get into moments of market uncertainty, when we start hitting resistance levels, and then we see a lot of jockeying around, and if you're not playing that patiently enough, you're going to end up getting chopped up, and then price is going to be right where it was at the beginning of the month, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. That would be enough
So of
of.
course I don't want to be wrong on this, but I do think the play is to the downside here on this.
Indeed. All right, so that was a good look at ANKR, I believe it was. Big shout outs to Moonshine Fuel for that one. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. We have this one for the FTX token, also from Moonshine Fuel. I jumped in on the FTX exchange token a while back. It's probably going to be a while. Lol. Ciro has nailed it, though. All right, well, these sounds like. Got into FTX. What did he say? A little while ago. All right, so he might probably underwater. He probably bought somewhere near
A
that
little bit
top.
underwater. I mean, it's definitely a different chart than the rest of them. Got a full short signal on last weekly's close. Think that you'll likely get a buyback up to a baseline bounce, which means that there's likely room in here for a better entry. It's just kind of a wonky chart. Great run there. Boom, boom, boom. To be honest with you, I think that this just languishes sideways here, at least for a little bit. This doesn't look like a swing failure sell-off to me, in my opinion. I think that the short signal is likely the right position here to come down here and sweep these levels. Whether you get sold in through that, then I guarantee that you're coming down to that $11 range, but that's not what I'm going to try to throw out there. If you get below this level, then you're likely going to come down to test that based off of probably like that angle. So I do think that the short signal on the weekly is likely going to be the right play here. The daily just looks kind of nothing to really do. Getting a continuation short today, like everything else, fairly close to the baseline, which is a great entry in terms of trying to get in at the best time with a system. And with the 13, it can be quite far away from it sometimes. But coming back here, I think that the plays to the downside on FTX. Or, oh, I'm sorry, this is FTT, isn't it? I was going to say, this does not remind me of the FTX.
FTT is the FTX token. You're right.
Okay, yeah, it just switched to it. That's right.
Yep, FTT is the ticker for FTX.
But yeah, I think that it looks weak here, and I think there's a lot of space that has not been tested. You do have historical resistance, turn support coming in here, but now you're down at towards the bottom level of that. All my oscillators are pointing to the downside, and I think that the weekly snagged a great position there. And it's very common, especially within a weekly candle, that you get a little bit of drawdown before that you get that continuation back to the upside. So any weekly close above that $57, I think that you could look to get out of that, because then I think you're likely to get continuation to the upside. But I just don't know if you're going to get that, to be honest with you.
All right, I'm going to interrupt briefly because the Libyans, the lemon drop is coming your way in about 60 seconds time. You've been warned. I'm going to click that distribute button about less than a minute. Get ready. Jason, how are your thoughts on FTX? Still wrapping this one up?
Well, I think that it looks weak here. All signs point to down until you get that that buyback to prove that there's strength here. Yeah, you're above your 200 and everything, coming down to test it on top of a spot that has been historical support. So do with that what you will, but as of right now, this looks weak. Nothing special about FTT here. Much better things out there on the market.
All right, brilliant. That was a look at the FTT, the FTX token, guys. Bear with me 1 second. I gotta go. And yeah, the D Live chest is opening as well. Go get your lemons, guys. Get your lemons. Get them now. Go, 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 go. All right. Congratulations to the big winner. We got Crypto Bull 21 taking the first place spot. Crypto Bull, congrats. Today's big winner. We also got a couple others, Mr. Ether, ETH1, Anyword, Crypto Cats. Thanks, guys, for also playing today. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the next request. What do we have here? That was FTX. Now we're going to get into XRD. What's XRD? Anyword requesting, yes, XRD.
Not sure, but it's had a 600% run here in the last month. These are patterns that I don't usually like to play. I do think that you're getting a little head and shoulders here by these wicks coming right back up to this level, getting a peak, then boom, coming back down to breakdown, getting a full short signal on the daily. If you were hesitant on this signal, you could wait for that break and close below that 40 cents. But this is one of those ones I don't like to play with a 13 EMA, just because once you get that big price expansion, and then sometimes you get a bull pennant here, and then you get continuation, and I usually get smoked on that. But there is a short signal here on the table. If anything, I would use this as a moment to get out of my position to just take profit. And then if you get that close back above that 53 cents, you can get back in. I think that's a much better idea than trying to take a long position on something that looks this weak. But if you're in it, I would take some profit, move my stop to break even and let it go, because if this runs, you'll likely get a little, even up to that like $1.70 range, like if this does run. But as of now, it looks weak. I think you should be taking profit. If you wanted, you could take that full short signal. I think that there's a nice risk to reward there. There's a lot, if it does break down, that you're likely to sweep rather than just getting a buyback to the upside. But do with that what you will. If anything, I would be getting out of my longs, and I wouldn't take this short position myself personally. But I think that it looks much more weak than bullish in the short term. But again, you can have that flip pretty quick when it comes to the 4. We are getting a little bit of bullish divergence here. On the 4 hour. Haven't crossed up yet above, so there's nothing that you can do with that. But like lower time frames would suggest that you could get some kind of play to the upside. But again, I think that this had a great run with no retracement, and it's likely to come back down and test some levels.
All right,
Yep.
well, let's
Looking
go.
at the weekly here, I think that you could easily see either a baseline bounce down to 23 or at least up to that like 34 range. So, yep, I think that the play would be to the downside on this. If not, get out of your long position.
All right, well, that was a look at XRD. We've got 10 minutes left in the show. Let's see if we can knock out the last couple of requests. What do we have here? It's ILV. ILV for our boy ETH1. It'll be our pleasure.
It looks like a strong chart. Little overextended for me to be able to take. And you are coming right up here on that resistance level, which you would assume would be a swing failure if it got sold into. I would look at taking this if you got sold into enough to bring me within 1 ATR of my baseline, because then I think that there's still juice to be squeezed back up to that level that it's at right now. Entering in at this point, I don't think is the wisest decision. If you were to take this, then I think that you should be taking it at half risk, and then put the other half down here around that like 1138 range to hopefully get some kind of baseline bounce if you do close up here, and then continuation to the upside. It doesn't look bearish as of now. I think that you're getting everything that you would want to see, but a close back above this high here, that 1281, then I think it's absolute game on for continuation, because you're in price discovery at that point. Yeah, see, so with the weekly here, you just don't want to see this turn into a swing failure, and then by the end of the week, this ends up a three black crows pattern with expanding volatility to the downside, and you see that happen all the time. So be careful with it, but as of now, this does look bullish. If you're in it, I would be happy to be in it. Um, like hopefully you're in from down here, something, not buying right here, because then I think you're about to deal with some drawdown. But it looks strong. If you close a new all-time high, then I think that you should give it a shot for sure. But if you close back below here, then I think that the play is either a baseline bounce to the upside, or it ends up being a bad signal.
All right,
So,
excellent. ILV.
wait for daily close.
All right, wait for the daily close. You heard it here. Big shout outs to ETH1. Thank you, Jason, for that one. Let's get into one of the last requests of the day. It's GALA. Yeah, GALA's been had a hell of a run. Here is a comment from Mr. Ether. GALA is a big winner of mine. They're working on a few games and have the co-founder of Zynga from games like Farmville. Well, there you go. Maybe this is why GALA is pumping.
So
What do you
looking
think?
at the daily on GALA, this screams baseline bounce to me. You've had such a great, just bullish continuation out of this. And if you look at the angle of attack, it's likely going to come right here. And you've already broken the more parabolic trend, I do believe, with today's candle. Yep, a close like this today will be breaking that trend as well. And then I think that you'll likely trade sideways and down here until you come up and hit this trend, which I think is a great spot to look to pick that up at like 25 cents. As the baseline bounce, if you get a close below that, get out of it because it's likely to rip to the downside. But if you're in GALA right now, I think that this is a great opportunity for you to get out of it with this exit signal. I think that it's not too often that you get an exit signal off of this big of a gain without giving anything back. So I think that it would be smart of you to take some profit here and wait for that baseline bounce. I think it's had a great run, but I think it needs to breathe a little bit. And I think that baseline bounce is the perfect call.
All right. Well, that is good. We got that one in the bag. GALA, Mr. Ether, crossed off the list. What do we got here? 6 minutes left. Let's try to power through the remaining requests. We have Murdoch the Murloc wants to look at Mina and Dia.
Man, this is that square pattern that I talk about. This screams reversal to me, like to the downside. But there's nothing you can quite do with it here. It does appear that you might be getting a break of trend. Nope. I guess you could consider that a break of trend right here. And man, it just can't get below this level. So I can't really. This does look like it would reverse in my head just looking at the pattern, but the amount that this level has been defended is definitely not something to balk at. And you keep getting higher lows all the way through here. There's nothing you can do with it now. The short signal was back here on the daily, and all it's done is trade sideways since then. So technically you would still be in this position because you've never closed back above your 13. But it could literally go either way. It wouldn't shock me if it went up. It wouldn't shock me if it goes down from here. But you just don't have any kind of signal right now. Let's go down to lower time frame, see if there's anything there yet. So nice. So that break of trend did kind of correlate here nicely on the 4 hour to this signal right here that got sold into, and now that's getting bought back up. If you close this 4 hour in the next 33 minutes positive, then this is likely going to be another long signal to the upside with the break of trend. So lower time frames look better than higher time frames. Again, you're gonna have to wait till that daily close to see what happens here. But I'll admit that there is, I mean, if it can't go down, it'll go up, and there's a lot of defense here. Let's look at the week. I mean, this it's not completely a bearish engulfing candle, but it certainly doesn't scream strength, does it? especially it's only been 2 days in, and we've already gotten equidistant highs and lows from the open. So it's really the ball's in any court at this point. So just do nothing with this right now and wait for a proper signal.
All right. How about DIA? DIA?
Another one that's just kind of languishing sideways here. You did get a full short signal yesterday. Now getting bought back up and then sold into right around the 13 EMA. You could consider this a baseline bounce. I wouldn't have any problem entering into this trade if you got a close below that $1.84. But with the way that these things are all kind of looking similar and Bitcoin dominance falling, we could get another little alt season here. But nothing I can do with it right now. And this one I hate, when my systems get into really tight spots like this, that like sometimes I slow down the frequency of my trading, because I know when these spots that I get chopped up quite a bit, because look, long, short, long, short, long, short. It's just not the best for my style of trading, my system. So I usually wait for some kind of break. But right now, we're just listing sideways, and we have no evidence whether this is going to go up or down. If anything, you would be in a short signal from over here. That actually you actually did hit a take profit on that, so you would have been fine there. So right now, you're just kind of waiting for that opportunity to present itself. And well, nope, never mind. Sorry, WADA is not completely there, so this is not a full short signal. So you'd be literally doing nothing, watching this go sideways, waiting for some kind of confirmation on a trend to emerge. But as of now, nothing you can do.
All right, shout out to ETH1, says, I already got some profits and I'm feeling good. Yes, there's nothing better than moving your stop loss to break even, taking your profits, no lost positions. That's the way the game's meant to be played. Getting into the next one, we are running a little late. Jason, you don't mind going for like extra 5 minutes overtime, knock out these last couple of requests? All right.
I'm actually pissed off that I didn't see this. I don't know why I wouldn't have seen CRV last night.
Yeah, what about CRV? How did we miss this? That looked like prime.
This is a perfect signal. This is literally everything you look for. You even have unnatural volume coming in with WADA above, rising explosion level, and you're tight to the baseline here. I don't know why I wouldn't have seen this. And it clearly would have already worked out. If you're in it, I think that's great. The entry was back here, and you would have already hit to take profit. But if you do close back above here at this new all-time high closing, I think that you're likely to continue ripping. The opportunity for me was yesterday. I don't want to buy after two big candles like that, but it looks great, especially if it closes like this. Absolutely bullish on CRV here.
All right, wonderful. That would be Curve. Let's get into LRC. Yes, Loop Ring for Boris Bitcoin, as well as who asked for Loop Ring? It was CryptoBull21 wants to look at Loop LRC USDT as well. So let's give LRCs a look.
LRC is another one that looks fantastic here. We drew out this trend line a while ago, and it seems to be behaving it here. Not sure why I drew that like that, but great quality signal here. We'll have to wait till daily close, but if it closes anything like this, this will be one that I probably enter at market close if it closes a new all-time high, because a lot of the times you see with ones that close like this that they don't get much of a reprieve before it hits TP1. And then I will cancel a trade if it goes, if I have a limit order and it goes and hits TP1, I'll just eliminate the limit order, because the trade is already passed for the way that I trade, because I don't know if it's going to go up there again. You can only test it on the first pass. And usually what I see with patterns like this on a close of a new all-time high close, that you usually get some expanding volatility back to the upside. So Loop Ring definitely going on my list today. It will be one that sucks that if it gets sold into, because it'll likely get some pressure to the upside. And then if we get something big, it'll likely come all the way back down here. But the idea is to hit a take profit before that happens. And everything's pointing to a good trade on Loop Ring here. So it might be, we might be taking LRC and ENJ tonight.
All right, look forward to that. If you guys want to see exactly what trades our analysts put on, what type of trades compose their winning shots every month, check out Results.crackingcryptocurrency.com or join our crackingcryptocurrency.com to get your get a look at our trades as they get put in. That's right. You want signals, you want to trade alongside our analysts, you check out the premium goodies we have to offer. With that said, guys, let's go and get into one of the last requests of the day. It's ICP for Profit Bear. Jack, can I get ICP USD? I like 42 value. What do you guys see? Does he mean $42?
It definitely looks weak right here, and you're getting expanding volatility to the downside. I mean, as in a rising explosion level, which would be the volatility coming down. You're getting that continuation short on the daily. This looks exactly the same as like Bitcoin and other charts that we've looked at today, in the sense of I think that this looks weak. This is just not going to be the one that I'm going to take the shot on, to be honest with you, because there is a break of trend here that's very subtle. But that doesn't always necessarily mean anything. You are getting that continuation. I just think there's way stronger things out there today to look at. But the continuation short on the weekly, not looking too bad, especially with the close down there. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think ICP looks very strong at all here. And I think that you'd have a test of that 33 range, because you never quite got down there. Yeah, that's what I would be looking for. So possibly that this continuation short, I wouldn't be looking to take this to the upside. I wouldn't be a buyer here. I'm not trying to pick up knives. If this breaks down, then it's definitely going to come down to this level. So wait for strength if you really want it to the long side. But if anything, this continuation short would be valid for today. Especially with a rising explosion level is something I always like to see with a continuation short. And closing back below resistance. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not biasing myself.
No worries.
So yeah, I mean, ICP, I'm not a knife catcher. I don't like to try to catch knives. This could end up going sideways here for a little while, up to like that 48 range. But being a buyer here, I think you're taking a big risk. And if you did buy here, I would get out at that $38 range for sure. I wouldn't wait for it to come all the way down here to hit my stop loss. So nothing I would do with ICP here. Give it a couple more days. Maybe it breaks above or below. But right now, its volatility is expanding to the downside.
All right.
And you're getting a fresh continuation.
Wonderful and extended look at ICP. We have gone an extra 5 minutes, and I got one more request I would like to do. I'm not sure if this one's going to lead to anything. CryptoCats says, can you add UFO? Is UFO a token? Excuse me, UFO coin.
ETF? Or is it the truth?
It's something called UFO Gaming. Let me go look. UFO Gaming. Ticker symbol UFO, and its top trading pair is on Uniswap. You have to go to chartx.pro, type in UFO, see what comes up.
UFO wrapped ETH. It's called the truth. Is that wrong?
Definitely wrong. Yeah, I don't see anything here to say the truth. When you type in UFO to chartx, what comes up? Oh, you're going there now.
This is also the truth.
All right, so maybe is this token called the truth? Do tell our dear crypto cats. Are we looking at the correct one? Maybe I'll send you the contract address.
I mean, if this is the one, you had a great.
Yeah, it is the truth. You're right. It is the truth. For some reason, it is. All right, let's go look at this one.
And then you got to close back above here. I think that if anything, right now would be the time that you would want to exit this position if you were in it. You're now beginning to get that take profit long signal on time transformation and minks. This does kind of scream baseline bounce to me as well. Jesus Christ, how many? It's only 73 Gwei, so like it's crazy cheap. But I mean, for the pattern itself, yeah, it does look like you'll likely have a baseline bounce back here. But this also could continue to the upside. You've had a clear break of this resistance, and you'll likely come back down to test it. So a close back below your baseline is a perfect exit on this one. Any close below 73, get out of it. You're likely to come down here and break this trend. But I think that this is a great time to take profit on it. Give it some time, see what it does. And if it begins ripping again, then get back in. And if it doesn't, then you're going to make a lot more money waiting and buying it again and probably quadrupling your stack on this thing if this is what you want. But I don't know anything about the truth, but it's crazy cheap.
It's got about $1 billion market cap, so it's already up there, guys. What else can I tell you? It's a metaverse play to earn gaming token. Some kind of they have a whole galaxy set up.
It won't shock me if we see a lot of these metaverse ones just kind of ignore basic TA and go parabolic. I think that's what we're seeing with Sand, with Alice, with Gala, with what are some of the other ones?
Yeah, I mean, this thing is a ginormous supply, guys, so that's why the price is as low as it is with $1 billion market cap. Do check it out, DYOR as always, but that is UFO for our boy Crypto Cats of the live chat. With that said, guys, we got to get out of here. It's been a solid hour and a half plus. It's been a great pleasure to get all of these requests done. Jason, once again, my man, you really outdone yourself. It feels good knowing that we get all these requests. Everybody gets treated fairly and accordingly. Everybody gets their requests in. Bear with me one second. I'm just gonna put this away. Gonna put this promo on screen, and we're gonna go ahead and go to the outro. All right. Guys, as always, you know what to do. Check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com for all premium offerings. How come we don't have we should have a Black Friday deal up by now. How come, is it just me or we don't have one up yet? Did the management not come through with a Black Friday deal? Guys, we might have a...
No, I'm not. You know I'm not responsible.
Yeah, me neither. But you guys, we have a belated Black Friday deal. I will contact management and I'll see where we stand with the Black Friday deal. I thought we'd have one announced by now. Maybe they're going to wait till actual Black Friday, so later this week to announce it. I presume that's what's happening. But guys, if you do like what we do here, if you do want to beef up your skills as a trader, do check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Again, the Black Friday deal's coming up, so that's probably a good time to jump on one of our premium packages. Pick up some very important systems-based trading skills and a whole suite of tools and more to help you step up your game. With that said, guys, I think we're out of here for today. Jason, it's been a great pleasure. I think final words to you. I'm going to put you up on the main screen, actually. Give me just 2 seconds, and I'm putting Jason up on the main monitor. Here we go. All right, Jay, my man. We got you on the main screen. What can you tell us?
Well, I mean, for me, guys, if you've been around here long enough, you know that my style of trading, it tends to be a little bit more patient. I use the daily, of course. Don't let intraday volatility really mess with me. I am eyeing the 4-hour here. This signal on Ethereum is very interesting to me. It's got everything that I look for. I do think that there's a good possibility that we get a little bit of rise out of alts and Ethereum in comparison to Bitcoin. Maybe they're going sideways or selling off a little bit. I think that's reflected in ETH dominance. So, I mean, right now, I'm in a perfect position because all of my positions have locked in profit. And if we decide to get that upswing from here, then I'll know to get out of my position, and then we can ride this thing to the upside. But as for now, I kind of want to just be patient with it. There is a chance that I take this 4-hour. I got 20 minutes to decide here, so I'll likely do that after stream to kind of see if I want to counter my my short exposure if we do get that pump to the upside. So I got to think on that right now. But I think the thing to do here is just be patient. Let the market prove to us where it wants to go. And I think 4-hour signal like this might be evidence that we get a little bit of press to the upside. So if whatever happens, I know that we've already locked in all that profit. And if things get stopped out of break even, who cares? We've already locked it in, and then we can ride it to the upside. So don't get too over biased in your positions because, like I said, looking at continuations like this, continuation shorts, a lot of the times what I see is these get sold into directly and they reverse. Ethereum looks different. I'm more talking about Bitcoin here. this continuation short. I've been smoked on a lot of them. So like I said, I'm going to be very hesitant on that to add to my risk, because I don't want to add here and then get stopped out at break even on my other one. And then the entry from here ends up squashing all the profit that I made on the initial short to the downside. So just make sure you're managing your guys' risk accordingly. That's one of the most important things about this, is if you over risk one position, then you're likely to get all of your things wiped. So make sure you're doing that every single time.
Well, there's not a whole lot more to add to that, guys. It's been
like with shitcoins, I think there might be some plays in shitcoins based off the signal that we're getting out of shitperp. So keep an eye on those on your watch list.
All right, wonderful. Well, there ain't a whole lot more to add. Much love to you guys. We will be back tomorrow for the Wednesday installment in the Breaking Bitcoin or Cracking Cryptocurrency Market Update, I should say. Alex is back tomorrow. Hopefully his camera and all that will be, or his connection will be in good order. I apologize yesterday, guys. Alex, we didn't really make a good show of it. Being Alex's connection was totally crap. Hopefully he'll be on the ball again tomorrow. If not, Jason, would you want to sit in for Alex tomorrow? If he's
I actually can't tomorrow.
Okay. No problem.
I told you I'm going to Chicago.
Oh, okay, that's tomorrow. All right, man's getting his weekend started early.
Yeah, I leave tomorrow. And like
Gotcha.
I said, the show I'll have to do Friday there again, because
Understood.
we're going in for Thanksgiving.
Understood. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with Alex. Hopefully his connection is up to the task. In the meantime, much love to you guys. We will be back. Peace.
Goodbye.
That's the stuff.